Good morning. I'm the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for today's hearing. I want to begin by explaining how the process is going to work. I generally hear the building cases on the agenda first, then the city will call the cases as they appear on the agenda. If you have appeared at today's hearing, your case will be called before those where no one has appeared, but that is only true if you have signed in. So if you have not signed in, please check with the officer in the rear of the chamber. Once your case is called, I ask that you come down to the podium on my right-hand side, which is right over here. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first. You'll have an opportunity to review the evidence and ask questions of any of the city's witnesses. You'll also have the opportunity to testify and present me with your own evidence. Once all the testimony and evidence has been presented, I will make a ruling. You'll receive a written order either today at the hearing or in the next few days, which you'll receive a copy of. If you have any questions as we go through the process, please feel free to ask them. This is a quasi-judicial hearing. It's not a formal courtroom. The formal rules of evidence do not apply here. However, although this is not a formal courtroom, all testimony given today has to be under oath, under penalty of perjury. If you're going to testify or think you might testify, I'm going to ask that you stand and raise your right hand, and I will swear you in. Anyone that's going to testify? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida? All right, city can call their first case.
Case number 14, CE 250-13211, case address 5808 58th Way.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On January 16th, upon conducting a rental inspection, I found violations on the property at 5808 58th Way. Violations found: 105-1, failure to secure building permits, work done to shower without permits, 18-96-C, bathroom ventilation required for restrooms, and 22-441, rental license violation, and 22-32-A, certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted March 6th. Certified mail was sent January 21st. Certified mail was signed for March 11th. I have been in contact with the attorney and the property owner, as well as the contractor. They're in the process of applying for the permit that's required for the shower enclosure. I have been informed that the ventilation has been repaired, but I do have to do an inspection to confirm that repair. So with that being said, city's recommending 90 days to bring the property into compliance by having the permit issued and a reinspection of the unit to confirm the other violations within 90 days, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Good morning. And 90 days, you believe, is a reasonable amount of time?
Good morning. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the case file, and photographs to be taken into the record as evidence, barring any objections. Thanks.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
John O'Neill, for the record, on behalf of Angela Valadon.
John Neal?
Yes, O'Neill, O'',
O'Neill.
capital N-E-I-L-L, 2 L's.
Sir, before you present, do you have any objection to the documents that the city would like to put in evidence?
No, Your Honor, no objections.
Without objection, I'll accept in evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, we have worked with the city to try to become in compliance. We obtained a contractor who's working well with Mr. McFarland to obtain the permit application that we need and to get the inspections completed. The fan, as he mentioned, has been repaired, so I think within short order, we should be able to correct all the problems.
The city wants me to give you 90 days. Is that a sufficient amount of time?
That is sufficient, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further?
No, sir.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
In case CE 250132211, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of the listed code sections. Respondent has 90 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Case number 13, CE 250131114, case address 2741 Village Boulevard, 104.
Which number was it?
13.
13.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On January 3rd, while conducting a rental inspection at 2741 Village Boulevard, Unit 104, violations were observed on the property. 105-1, failure to secure building permits for the shower and tub replaced in both bathrooms. 22-441, rental license violation, and 22-32-A, certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted March 6th. Certified mail was sent January 6th. Certified mail was signed for March 11th. I have been in contact with the property owner, as well as the contractor, as well as the handyman as well, that has been working diligently to try to get this resolved. The application for the permit was applied for on February 18th, so it is working through the process. So with that being said, city's recommending 90 days to bring the property into compliance by having the building permit issued within 90 days, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Great, thank you. And you've stated, just for clarity, the permit was applied for on February 18th? Is that correct?
Yes, February 18th, yes, ma'am.
And you believe 90 days is reasonable given from the February 18th date to get the permit?
Shouldn't be an issue as working through the process.
Okay. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the attached photographs to be taken into evidence, into the record, please.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Hi, my name is Lissa McCoy. I'm a representative for the owners, Brad and Fabiola Jagir. Just for the record, I want to state that we purchased the property with the work already completed and did not know that they had not pulled the permits to do the work in the bathrooms. So we have secured
Hold
the
on,
contractor.
One sec.
Okay.
Before you get going.
Sure.
You said your name was Alyssa Malfoy?
Lissa McCoy, LISSA-MCCOY.
Ma'am, are you an attorney?
No, I'm their realtor. They live in Connecticut. So I'm boots on the ground here trying to help coordinate all this.
And you have their permission to represent them here today?
Yes.
Did you have any document or signed document from them?
No, just an email. But I've been communicating with Mr. McFarlane. I mean, we've been in the process of communicating on this.
If I may,
Sure.
please?
Yes.
Thank you. Do we have the copy of that email indicating that the representative, Ms. McCoy, can speak on their behalf at this hearing?
Should have to forward it to me.
Okay.
Do you have the ability to forward it to me?
I will do that.
Very good.
And it should, if you don't mind, for it to be specific that that you're able to represent them at this hearing. Please.
Absolutely. I do have a property management agreement as well.
That'll be outstanding.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. I can send that to Mr. McFarlane. I'd be happy to do that.
All right, and before we go any further, I just need to know if you have any objection to the admission of the testimony, evidence, and pictures from the city.
I would like to request 120 days just to be safe because things have been moving a little bit slowly.
All right, hold
And
on.
then I just want.
We're not there yet. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
asking if you have any objections to their testimony, evidence, or pictures.
Oh, no.
Okay. Without objection, I'll accept those in evidence as city's composite exhibit. All right, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to see if we could extend it to 120 days, just because of the city process has been a little bit slow. And then I just had a question on clarification. When he said the $200 a day fine, that would start if we weren't in compliance in that 90 or the 120 days if it's granted?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. So we're not being fined anything at the current
not
time?
at this junction.
Okay, thank you.
What's the city's position on their request for 120 days?
To me, it's excessive, but I mean, I'm not inclined not to grant it because they are a little backed up with permitting. To be 100% clear and concise with that, I'm open to it. No objection to that.
All right, ma'am, I'll give you the 120 days. But
Thank
you got to
you
make
so
sure you
much.
bring them into compliance, okay?
We are working on it. We've got everybody hired, so we're doing it. Thank you all for your time. Have a wonderful
Okay,
day.
CE 250131114, make the following findings of fact and law. Notice is sufficient. The property is I find the property is violation of 105.1, 22441, and 2232A. Respondent has 120 days to bring the property in compliance or a fine of $200 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda number 1, CE 2502347, case address 610 Clematis Street, 836.
I'm sorry, which number was it?
Number 1.
Number 1, from the top. Are we out of people that have signed in?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to be interpreting for the property owner.
Are you translating?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code. The property located at 610 Clematis Street, Unit A36, was cited for failure to renew its rental license certificate of use.
You're probably going to have to talk slower if he's going to translate.
I'm sorry. The property located at 610 Clematis Street, Unit 836, was cited for failure to renew a rental license, certificate of use, and it's a repeat violation of case number CE 20030334 in violation of City Codes 22-441, 22-32-A, and 26-35B-B. On February 13, 2025, a notice of violation identifying the violations and my contact information, a notice of this hearing was issued to the property owner. The NOV was sent regular mail and certified mail on February 13th. Both the property and City Hall was posted on February 28, 2025, and a completed affidavit of posting is in the case file. The certified mail was signed for on February 21, 2025. On February 26, 2025, I received an email from the property owner indicating that he had paid the fee and wanted to know the status of the case, to which I informed him at the time it was a repeat violation and that he would need to appear at this hearing. I want the records to indicate that this respondent has been consistently late in paying his fees, his renewal fees over the years. There's currently a lien balance of $2,300 on this property for case number CE 20030334 for the same violation. So the city is requesting 50 days for the number of days that this property has been out of compliance, to which is 8 days. So $50 a day as a fine.
Thank you. Good morning. You're saying 50
8 days.
Okay, eight, okay.
$50 a day for the
$50 a day, okay.
Yes.
And so he is in compliance. We're asking for that for the 8 days that he was not in compliance because he's been a repeat
Yes, ma'am.
violator, not offender, okay. Special Magistrate, at this time, we're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony as well as the documents shown in the case file be accepted into the record as evidence, barring any objections.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
¿Su nombre?
Marcelo Matok.
¿Quiere decir?
Excuse me. Marcelo Matok.
Can you spell your last name?
¿Cómo se escribe su último nombre?
Matocq.
Matok?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Matok, what is your relationship to the owner of the
¿Cuál
property?
es la relación con la propiedad?
Manager, sir.
Who is the property manager? ¿El manager de la propiedad?
Yes.
Property manager.
You have to speak into the mic.
Property manager.
Property manager?
Yes.
Correct.
Mr. Matok, do you have any objection to the documents and testimony of the
La evidencia
code
que
staff?
presentó el oficial.
No, disculpa. Quiero disculpas.
No, he just wants to state that he is sorry for the inconvenience and that he wasn't aware.
All right, without objection, I'm going to enter into evidence the testimony and evidence of the city staff.
Va a meter la evidencia, aceptar la evidencia de la ciudad
Yes.
al record.
Yes.
Mr. Matok, is there anything else you want to tell me?
Otra cosa que quiera decirle al...
No, thank you, sir.
All right, in case CE 25023-407,
En el caso, Cogeman, va a ser el caso, va a decir cuánto lo que va a
I
pagar.
find the property in violation of code sections 2232A, 2635B, and 22441.
Son los códigos que donde no puedo pagar de la violación.
Okay.
Said violation is a repeat violation for 8 days,
Repetida por 8 días.
and I will fine the property $50 per day for a total fine of $400.
$50 por día. Por los 8 días te va a ser $400.
And hopefully we won't see you again.
Ojalá no tenga que verlo otra vez y paga a tiempo.
Okay, thank you, sir. Excuse me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Case number 12, CE 250-13196, case address 1000 State Street.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. The person represented, they left early, so I'm just going to go ahead and give you the agreement that we came up with. 1000 State Street was cited on January 15th, 2025. Cited for a rental license and certificate of use. Code sections 22-441 and 22-32A. The previous rental license expired September 30th of last year. Certified mail and regular mail actually mailed out January 15th of 25. City Hall, and the property was posted March 10th of 25. Contact again was made with the new buyer of this property. It's up for sale, and the Quantum Foundation will be purchasing this property and keeping the tenant in there. So we agreed to additional 45 days to complete that sale and renovations of the property, or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Sir, can you repeat the agreement to me again?
The agreement is 45 days or $100 a day after that.
Okay, and you believe 45 days is reasonable?
Yeah, they said a couple of weeks that they will be complete, the sale will be completed.
Okay, great. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the testimony, the case file, as well as the agreement. If I can just see the agreement. Is there something written, or it was just verbal?
Between me and?
Yes.
Just verbal.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And the representation of the agreement be accepted into evidence for the record, please.
Without objection, the testimony and evidence and documents are accepted in evidence of city's composite exhibit. In case CE 250-13196, based upon the agreement of the parties, I find the property in violation of 22441 and 2232A, and I give the respondent 45 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Case number 4, CE 250133335, case address 4104 Greenwood Avenue.
Good morning. Code Officer KT Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While checking a complaint in the area, I observed several violations at 4104 Greenwood Avenue. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on January 31st of 2024, citing the following violations. 78-94-A, restrictions on plantings in the swell. 18-106-A, clean and sanitary and pressure washing. 94-302-A-3, fence permit. The notice of violation was posted at the property in City Hall on March the 4th of 2025. The affidavit of posting was completed on March the 4th, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA. On February the 6th of 2025, certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on March 18th of 2025 and observed the property still in violation of the violation cited. Reinspection photos were taken on March the 18th of 2025 showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I have had contact with Mr. Thomas Garvin, the property owner's son, who requested an additional 45 days on behalf of his father, the owner. The city is requesting an additional 60 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, can you repeat how many days and what the fine?
60 days at $100 a day.
Okay, thank you. And the photographs, you took the photographs yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and they truthfully and accurately depict the violations being discussed today?
Yes, work has begun and started, and also they're working on the permit and everything now, according to Mr. Garvin. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Special Magistrate, we're requesting the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs be admitted into evidence for the record, barring any objections.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, sir. My name is Thomas Garvin, Jr., and I'm here with my dad, Thomas Garvin, Sr.
Mr. Garvin, do you have any objection to the documents and testimony of the city?
No, not at this moment, no.
Without objection, I enter in evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite Exhibit A, consisting of the documents, photos, and testimony. So the city says that you need a fence permit, you got planting issues in the swale,
Yes.
and I guess is that the pressure washing?
Yeah, which he's done some work, so he just needs to complete everything and so that
City
he
wants
can
to
come
give you 60 days to come into compliance?
Yeah, that should be sufficient for us.
Okay.
Barring if I don't have no problem with the permit, getting the permit there. They say I need to get a survey in order to have the fence there.
So you have to speak into the mic or I can't hear you.
They say I have to have a survey done in order to certify to complete the permit for the fence, which I was unaware of, that I needed a survey.
Yeah, I'll give you to the code officer, can probably give you some direction on how to come into compliance. I really can't do it. I'm
Okay.
going to give you the 60 days though, okay?
I appreciate that.
All right. In case CE 250133335, I make the following findings of fact and law. If our notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 94302A3, 7894A, and 18106A, and adopt by reference testimony of the code officers the nature of those violations. I give the respondent 60 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
I thank him, yeah.
Case number 6, CE 250132224, case address 5807 Georgia Avenue.
Six. 5807 Georgia Avenue.
5807 Georgia?
Yes.
Good morning, John Frosco, West Palm Beach Code, case CE 2501324. was cited for sign permit required and business tax receipt. Those two violations still exist. The complied violations are removal of the obsolete sign and prohibited signs. The property was noticed and regular and certified mail was sent on February 14th of 2025, and City Hall was posted on February 13th of 2025. I have spoken with the owner, and we agreed that 90 days or $100 a day to come into compliance for what's outstanding. That would be the 94-402E1 and the 82-144 and certificate of use 22-32A.
Thank you. And you believe 90 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did state it was agreeable to the property owner?
Yes, I had a conversation before the hearing.
And it's only 3 outstanding
Yes.
violations we're discussing today?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you take the photographs personally?
I did.
And do they truthfully and accurately depict the violations that are still outstanding that we're discussing this morning?
Yes, they do.
Great, thank you. This time, Special Magistrate, I'm asking for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the case file, and photographs be admitted into evidence as to the record, barring any objections from the respondent.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please? Your name, please, sir?
Shashir Choksi.
One more time, a little slower. Your name, I didn't hear your name, sir.
Oh, well, it's a corporation owns it, LLC, but I'm one of the principal.
You're the principal of the LLC?
I can't hear. I'm sorry.
This is gonna
My
make it
hearing
come-
is no good.
Do I need to be louder, or you can't hear at all?
I'm not understanding, Your Honor. I'm sorry. It's just,
You were able to
hearing is-
communicate with him, Mr. Frasca?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe a little bit louder, Special Magistrate, or if he can come closer, we're okay with that, if you're okay, if.
Or maybe we could just get an officer to stand next to him and say it to him again?
maybe she can repeat for me. Can you? Oh, sorry.
Your name. Your name.
Oh, my name is Shashir Choksi. That's what I thought.
Can you spell it, please?
Shishir Choksi, CHOKSI. Sorry.
John, you're probably gonna have
Maybe
to
you should-
stay
John, you're gonna
there.
have to stay there.
Hang around with me.
You're the principal of the corporation.
Yes, I am.
Is there anything that you, any objection that you would have to the evidence presented by the city?
Do you have any objections to the evidence we're presenting?
No, I don't.
All right, without objection, I'll accept into evidence the evidentiary case file in this case.
Okay. So that's what we
And
agreed on.
this is what we
right?
agreed upon.
Okay, that's
You
fine.
can say it.
Yeah.
Say it.
Okay, now?
No, say it to the magistrate, what we agreed upon.
I agree upon that.
Yes, so 90 days?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, in case CE 250132224, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the code sections listed. I give the respondent 90 days to come into compliance. What was the fine you were seeking?
Okay.
Or $100 a day.
Or $100 per day may issue. So 90 days or $100 per day, okay?
All right, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That concludes everyone that was here present. Now, case number 2, CE 24112992, case address 950 Paseo Morala.
It's Jahir?
You ready? Francis, are you?
Okay.
Case number 2 would be continued. Next case on the agenda, case number 3, CE 250-13188.
This is Jesus's case. He's
Jesus's
outside.
case?
Good morning. Apologies, I was still translating.
Thank you.
Name is Jesus Mendiola, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. I discovered the violations on 6/34/32 on January 13, 2025. The violations I discovered are 18-106K, landscape maintenance, front and rear, 74-4-C-5, alleyway maintenance and dead vegetation all along the alleyway, 18-106-G, paint or pressure wash the exterior, 94-302-A-4, fence repair, 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, 18-103-B, condition of structure. In the rear building, there's deteriorating and holes on the exterior of the property. 78-6-2, the rear address characters are missing. And 18-103E, the condition of the windows, they don't look watertight and are in disrepair and need to be repaired. The property was cited on January 14, 2025. Certified and regular mail were sent on January 14, 2025. It was signed for. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on March 3rd, 2025. I completed the affidavit of posting. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. I have had no contact with the property. As of yesterday, the property is still in violation of all violations. The city is asking for 90 days to gain compliance or $300 a day until compliance is achieved.
Great, thank you. 90 days or how much? I'm sorry, I didn't.
300,
300?
correct.
And I know you testified you have not had any contact with any property owner or representative. Do you know if the postings on the property have been removed, or are they the same?
Yes, they do have an active rental license as well, so I'm pretty sure someone is renting. They have actually been up to date with their rental license, have paid on time, so someone is watching the property.
The property's occupied?
It does look like it's occupied in the front, not the rear structure.
Oh, okay. But did you say the rental license is up to date or not up to date?
Yeah, up to date.
It's up to date, and
Yeah,
the
they
notices have been removed to your knowledge?
Correct.
Okay. Thanks. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony. The photographs which he testified, they're truthfully and accurately depict the violations we're discussing today, as well as the case file be admitted into evidence at this time.
Without objection, I'll accept in evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, consisting of the testimony, evidence, and pictures submitted by the city. Has there been any evidence that anyone's attempting to bring any of these into compliance?
No.
And you sent the notice to the address listed in the property appraiser's records?
Yeah, it was sent to the address on Papa and to the address 630 432nd Street, and it was signed for.
And nothing, huh? All right. In case CE 250131188, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I found property in violation of listed code sections. I adopt by reference the testimony of the code officers, the nature of those violations. I hereby where the respondent to come into compliance within 90 days or a fine of up to $300 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Case number 5, CE 250-13265, case address 5701 Georgia Avenue.
John Frosca, West Palm Beach Code, 5701 Georgia Ave, KCE 250-13265, was cited for obsolete signage, landscape maintenance for the removal of stumps and vegetative debris, and prohibited tree, which is complied, 94-445I, engaging in business, which they removed the signage for leasing the property, and the overgrowth. Those three, 74-4C3, those 1, 2, 3 violations are complied. I have been in touch with the owner of the property and their attorney, Mr. Krasker. The last email correspondence that I had was that they're getting estimates on the removal of the stump, and they said that they would remove the signs begrudgingly, the obsolete signs. Certified mail was sent on January 28th of 2025, and certified mail was signed on January 30th of 2025. I additionally posted City Hall and the property on January 27th of 2025. The city is suggesting 90 days to come in compliance with the two outstanding violations, or $100 a day. This would give them the option of actually painting the entire building and getting estimates on it, and then removal of the signs, so it's done in a neat and uniform fashion.
Great, thank you. And you believe the 90 days is reasonable?
Very reasonable.
And were they agreeable to the 90 days?
No, they didn't. There was no conversation after that initial. I expected them to be here, so.
Okay. And did you take the photographs we're viewing today?
I did. I took them this morning.
Okay, and they truthfully and accurately depict the violations still outstanding and remaining?
Yes, they do.
Which I believe you stated were two, which are, could you repeat those, please? Sorry.
The obsolete signage, 94404F, and the landscape maintenance, the removal of the vegetative debris. There are two stumps. One is laying in the property, and the other one is still in the ground.
Okay, great. Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony. The photographs as well as the case file will be admitted into evidence at this time.
So admitted. So it's just the tree stumps and the signs?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how long did you want to give them?
90 days, $100 a day.
All right, in case CE 250-13265, I make the following findings of fact on the line. Find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 18106K landscape maintenance for the tree stumps and 94404F for the obsolete signs. Respondent has 90 days to come into compliance or fine of $100 per day. May I issue?
Thank you.
Case number 7, CE 250-13327, case address 3025 Windsor Avenue.
Good morning, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. During routine patrol, I saw a car parked on the grass and another car blocking the sidewalk right away at 3025 Windsor Avenue. And I initiated my investigation on January 30th, 2025. This property is occupied. There I observed the following violations: 94482A, unpaved parking, 78-1, obstructing the sidewalk right away, 18106K, landscape maintenance, in particular needing to seed or sod the landscape, 7434A1H, trash container in public view, 9471C, outdoor storage, in particular the auto parts and the equipment. This case is a part of a repeat violation for 94485A, which is the auto repair in a residential district. And the reference case for the repeat violation is CE 240-82458. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and this notice date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on February 4th, 2025 by the city clerk. I hand delivered the notice of violation to a tenant, Adrian, and posted a notice of violation at City Hall on March 5th of 2025. I also completed an affidavit of posting on March 5th, 2025. I revisited the property on March 5th, 2025 during the posting time frame and observed the property not to be in following with the following code sections: 94485A and 7471C. So the auto repair is still going on in the outdoor storage, in particular the auto parts. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisit the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner, I have not made contact with the property owner, but I did in fact I made contact with Adrian, who's a tenant. He's also the individual in the photo, as well as the person who's running the illegal auto business from a residential area. With that being said, the city is asking for a split order for violation 7471C. The city is asking for 10 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $50 per day. And for the violation 94485A, which is the repeat violation, the city is asking for a $100 per day fine, starting from the date the repeat violation was observed, which is January 30th, 2025, until it is complied. Nothing further.
As it pertains to the evidence, Special Magistrate, we're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, the photographs be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Without objection, so admitted. So he's running a car repair business from a home?
Correct. In the case, exactly. And in the case file, these are the previous photos. If one moment, the green car itself is an inoperable vehicle. I have explained to him both of the cars. He's storing cars in the backyard, but the green car is already currently running fines, but he's continuing to work on the green car and other cars as well. The property is also running fine for illegal land use, which is the auto business that he's running in the residential area. And it's becoming a problem for everyone that's in the neighborhood and the community. These are the photos from the previous case, the repeat violation case. In the current photos, it's pretty much hard to see, but he's now taking the cars and trying to park them as close as he can to the front door. The SUV itself is currently like jacked up a little bit, and he's working on it. The green car is still out in the front. That white car definitely shows his business name, which is the Adrian Auto Repair. You can kind of see the car jacked up now. In that photo as well, you can see how the SUV is jacked. The black car does not belong to him at all. That's another car that I saw an individual getting out of with my own two eyes to drop it off to be fixed. So he's definitely running a full-time business, advertising it on Google, as you can see there. And so at this point.
So for our purposes, you observed that he's storing cars and motor vehicles on the property?
Yes, a lot of them are in the backyard. So like the truck, that's the work truck that he uses. He'll take it to the backyard. He's now storing the white car in the backyard as well for the additional space. Yes.
And the other outdoor storage, is that just the materials he's using to repair cars?
That is correct.
All right, in case CE 250133327, I make the following findings of fact and law. Phone notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of Code Sections 9471C, storage of repair materials on the residential property. I give the respondent 10 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $50 per day may issue. Make further finding that the property is in violation of Code Section 94485A. I find that violation is a repeat violation under the Code of the City of West Palm Beach for storage of vehicles on the property. Respondent is fined in the amount of $100 per day beginning January 30th and continuing until the property comes into compliance as a repeat violation.
Case number 8, CE 250138284, case address 940 34th Street.
All right, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. While on routine patrol, I noticed a trash container consistently being left in public view at property 940 34th Street. This is all after I have given multiple courtesies to move it out of public view. I initiated my investigation at this property on January 3rd, 2025. This property is occupied. There, I observed the trash can still remaining in public view, which is violations 7434A1H, It was discovered that this property is being rented without the proper license, so the property was also cited for 22-441, which is the rental license, and 22-32A, certificate of use. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. That notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on January 29th, 2025 by the city clerk. I revisited the property on March 5th and observed the property not to be in compliance with any of the code violations previously mentioned. I posted a notice of violation at the property and City Hall, as well as completed an affidavit of posting on March 5th, 2025. And I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property, and the photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. On March 5th of 2025, I met with a representative for the LLC, which owns the property. His name is Elvis. He did confirm that the property is being rented under the LLC, but he recently took full ownership of the property. And basically, the ownership of the property name will change from the current LLC. In the case file, the LLC did start the process of obtaining that rental license, but the inspection has not been completed yet because we need to allow the 30 to 45 days for property appraisal to update to reflect the change in ownership of the property. If that was to happen, then a new rental license would need to be issued under the correct ownership of the property, which Mr. Elvis is well aware of. With that being said, the city is asking for 45 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $100 per day.
Great, thank you. Does he own the property or not currently?
He does not currently own the property, but he has already started the paperwork, and it has not been updated and reflected on property appraisal. So a representative did tell him that it should take about 30 days for it to reflect correctly.
Sure, there's two separate things. I get it on when it's going to be updated on PAPA, but does he currently own the property or he does not?
He does not.
Okay,
It's
okay,
under a LLC, which he does not own the LLC.
Oh, okay. So my point is PAPA will not update it if he doesn't own it. So he has to own it first, right?
Yes, so
Okay.
he started the paperwork for, if I'm not mistaken, he now owns the property. I'm sorry, that's my mistake.
Okay.
He now owns the property, but I can't see the ownership reflect on property appraisal. So what I told him is that the LLC currently has a rental license agreement, which that representative is saying if it does not reflect to where I can prove that he has the ownership, then I will complete the rental inspection.
Okay, sorry, I heard some muttering, so I don't know.
If I can interject?
Sure.
Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. Just to interject with what he's stating, there are ways to get to where he needs to get to. If he indeed owns the property, just request the warranty deed. So business tax is not going to move forward with his application if it doesn't match PAPA. But if he presents the warranty deed, then they can move forward.
Well, that's what I was, both of you guys got where I was alluding to. Yes, that's what I was asking. Papa's update shouldn't be an issue for us.
That's not the issue.
Right, so if he has as indicated a warranty, he doesn't, okay.
He doesn't.
Okay.
Okay, that means he has not assumed ownership then.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Yeah, I was a little bit thrown off by that.
No, that's my mistake. I think it was the issue with the lingo. So thank you, Officer McFarland. But he's not able to show me any proof
Gotcha,
that he
okay.
owns.
Gotcha,
In the
gotcha.
LLC, he's a part of the family that owns the LLC. But he's not able to show me any information right now to prove that he's the current owner, which is why I told him they have already started the process with obtaining that rental license. So 45 days should be enough time for him to show me that he has the proper ownership of the property. Once that happens, I can pretty much void out the current rental license to now get him the correct rental license.
Okay,
If he does not give me that information, I can now complete the rental inspection under the current LLC, which they have already started the process to close this case out.
okay.
So in,
Without getting into the minutiae, is 45 days sufficient time for him to come into compliance?
it's more than enough time. That's yeah.
Okay.
Okay, nothing further at this time. Special Magistrate, we're asking for the detailed testimony of the code enforcement officer, the case file, as well as the photographs be admitted into the evidence at this time.
Without objection, so admitted. Case CE 25, the trash can still in public view?
Yes, they're gonna move it out the way, but yes, it's still in there.
Case CE 250132284, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 22441, 7434A1H, and 2232A. Specifically, they need a rental license, certificate of use, and to remove the trash can from public view. Give the respondent 45 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Case number 10, CE 25013-197, case address 1011 17th Street.
Okay. Don Williams, Code Enforcement. The property at 1011 17th Street was cited on January 15, 2025 for rental license and certificate of use. Code sections 22-441 and 2232A. The previous rental license expired September 30th of last year. Certified mail, regular mail sent out January 15th of 25. City Hall and the property was posted March 10th of 25. Contact was made with the owner of the property. Her name is Sherry Gordon. Had a conversation with her, and she indicated that she would pay the rental license fee. However, that has not happened as of this morning. So my recommendation would be 10 days to comply, or $100 per day after that for the certificate of use.
Okay, nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony as well as the case file be admitted into evidence as the record, please.
All right, so admitted without objection. So they know they need a rental license. They indicated they're going to pay, but they haven't done so.
Yes, correct. Yes, sir.
So no reason that couldn't be done within 10 days.
Should be, yeah.
Or
10
maybe
days,
less.
plenty of time.
All right. In case CE 25013-197, make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 2232A and 22441. A certificate of use and rental license. Respondent has 10 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Case number 11, CE 25013-173, case address 412 23rd Street.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 412 23rd Street, was cited on January 15, 2025 for a certificate of use. The previous one expired September 30th of last year. The code section is 2232A. Certified mail, regular mail was mailed out January 15th of 25. City Hall and the property was posted 3/10 of 25. Contact was made with the church, which is Mount Olive Church of God, and they indicated that they would pay the fee as well. As of today, it has not been paid, so my recommendation is 10 days for the payment, or $100 per day after that for the certificate of use.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, be admitted into evidence as the record, please.
All right, without objection, I'll accept the evidence. So there's a business operating on here?
Well, certificate of use is a church, nonprofit. They just need a certificate of use to be renewed.
And they just haven't done it yet?
Yes, I haven't done it.
In case CE 25013-173, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A, failure to obtain a certificate of use. Respondent has 10 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Case number 15, CE 25013-160, case address 5730 57th Way.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. While conducting a rental inspection on January 9th, I found violations on the property. 105-1, failure to obtain building permits for the shower replaced in the master bath. 22-441, rental license violation. 22-32-A, certificate of use. The property at 5730 57th Way was posted as well as City Hall on March 6th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent out January 10th. Certified mail was returned February 20th. I have been in contact with the property owner. I have been in contact with the contractor. The permit was applied for on February 28th. It's still working through the process. With that being said, city's recommending 90 days to have the permit issued and complete the rental inspection, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, great, thank you. And you took the photographs we're observing today?
Yes, ma'am.
And they truthfully and accurately depict what you observed when you went to the home and what we're discussing today?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And you believe 90 days is sufficient time, given that they've applied for the permit on the 28th of February?
Yes, ma'am. It's working through the process. Should be done shortly.
Okay, great, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, the photographs be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Without objection, so admitted. So you want to give them 90 days or $200 per day?
Yes, sir.
Have they applied for anything at this point?
Excuse me?
Have they applied for anything at this point?
Yes, they have. They did apply on February 28th. So we do have an application in being processed.
All right, so 90 days is more than sufficient to...
More than sufficient.
Yeah. All right, in case CE 2501316, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of listed code sections. Respondent has 90 days to come to compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue.
Case number 16, CE 250-23359, case address 1897 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 204.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer. On February 3rd, I observed violations at 1897 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, Unit 204. Business being operated without a business tax receipt. I then cited a property for 82-144, obtaining business tax receipt. The business as well as City Hall was posted March 6th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent out February 5th. Certified mail was signed for March 11th. I have been in contact with the tenant that's actually running the business from the location, but I have not made contact with the owner that actually owns the unit. She tried to come in and work through the application process for the business tax, but she's missing some state credentials preventing her from applying for that business tax. So she is working to obtain that certification so she can submit the application. With that being said, city's recommending 45 days to come into compliance, or a one-time fine of $250.
So the owner or the tenant is working on the
tenant, that's who's running the business from the location.
Oh, okay, so the tenant is running the business and is the one applying for the BTR?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you believe 45 days is a reasonable amount of time?
It should.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
So admitted without objection. In case CE 2502359, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 82144, operating a business without a business tax receipt. Respondent has 45 days to come to compliance, or a one-time fine of $250.
Case number 17, CE 250-23348, case address 3515 Village Boulevard 104.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On February 3rd, I received a complaint from the property manager of Whitehall, address 3515 Village Boulevard, Unit 104, that the unit is occupied with renter without a license. I then initiated a case for the violations of 22441 rental license violation, 22-32-A certificate of use. The property as well as City Hall was posted March 6th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent February 5th. Certified mail was signed for March 11th. I have not been in contact with the property owner, and as of yesterday, there is no new application processed in our system. I further reached out to the property manager yesterday to confirm that there is a tenant in the unit. She stated there is a tenant in the unit, and she's repeatedly tried to reach out to the owner to get what's required. With that being said, city's recommending 30 days to bring the property in compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Great, thank you. Has the property manager indicated, has she had any contact, communication with the owner?
That she did not,
Okay.
but
Right.
she's made several attempts.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the case file to be admitted into evidence as the record, please.
All right, without objection, I'll accept the testimony documents and photographs and evidence as city's composite exhibit. KCE 2502348, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 22441 and 2232A. A rental license and certificate of use are needed within, give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance or a fine of $200 per day may issue.
Thank you.
That concludes the last case on this agenda.
So are we at 11:30 for the other matters?
Okay, yes.
Yep.
Yes, we
11:30.
All right, so we're going to reconvene at 11:30.
Thank you.
All right, I call this meeting back to order. This is the code enforcement for the City of West Palm Beach, the other matters agenda. Cases are going to be heard in the order which they appear on the agenda. When you hear your case called, go ahead and proceed to the podium directly on my right-hand side. The city will introduce the case, after which time you'll have an opportunity to speak to me and present me with your testimony and evidence. Most of these appear to be fine reduction cases, so the important things to remember for these are you have to specifically tell me what you are asking me for, and you have to give me legal reasons why I should grant that. Hopefully you've had a chance to review the code of the City of West Palm Beach about what things are permissible and which things are not. If you have questions as we're proceeding, do feel free to ask them. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, which means the formal rules of evidence do not apply here. However, all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you're going to testify, or you think you might testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, I'd ask that you rise and raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Anyone that might testify? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida? Yes. All right, please be seated. Let's call the first one.
Case number 18, CE 23111044, case address 628 53rd Street.
Right over here.
All right, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Agenda item 18, case number CE 23111044 for case address 628 53rd Street. This case was originally cited November 15th, 2023. They were cited for landscape maintenance, trash can in view of the public, sod needed in the yard, overgrowth of that yard in certain areas, as well as unpaved parking. This went to a special magistrate hearing January 17th of 2024. It was ordered for the fine to start as of February 20th, 2024, and that fine ran for 322 days at $100 a day for a total of $32,200, and that was complied January 7th of 2025. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting as well as regular mail. City requests a reduction to 25% of the lien, which would be a total of $8,050.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Nelsida Esteves.
Nancy,
Nelsida,
can you spell that for me?
Nelsida.
Nasida?
Nelsida.
Nasida. And what is your relationship to the owner, Stephen Mejia?
That's my son.
Does he know that you're here for him?
No, I'm the owner of the house. He's just like the second person in the house.
Okay. And what are you asking me for, and why should I grant it to you?
I wish that I not owe nothing because I do whatever I can to clean and maintain my landscaping. I was surprised when I was adding my data to the papers and that I owe all this money. I can't believe it. I'm even here. I'm still in shock. My house is always clean. I always clean my front. I do my watering. I think my house one of the best in the neighborhood. It's only like 3 years old house, and I never expect to all this kind of money. I'm can sleep because they have anxiety.
Ma'am, are you trying to tell me that you didn't violate the code sections? Because I can't really relitigate the underlying case.
Okay, so I never knew that it's true, that I was doing everything right. I never knew that I owed this money because I had this violation.
So what are you asking me for, ma'am?
To release me from this thing that I've been doing all what I have to do, watering my front.
Ma'am, it's not a question. You're in compliance. That's not the question here.
So I did what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what else to tell you. If maybe I'm not understanding well, or to express myself, not my first language, but it's for the grass. So I think that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
How many days was this out of compliance?
322.
Yeah, the purpose of these hearings is not to relitigate this. and by relitigate, I mean we're not contesting that there was a violation on this property. There was a violation, it went on for 322 days, and it came into compliance in January. And so there's a fine of $32,200. The city has offered to reduce it to $8,050.
I don't even have that money, but I mean, if that's the only choice, I don't know what to do.
I mean, you haven't really asked me for anything. You've just told me that you cleaned your property, and I don't know what to do with that.
Okay, so reduce it. I don't have all this money to pay it. Can be reduced more than this then? That I don't have to pay all this?
You have to ask me for something.
Can you please reduce this amount of money on my property?
Can you give us an amount? We're saying that you need to pay we've reduced it 75% to $8,000. If you cannot pay the $8,000, can you give us a counter offer, how much you're willing to pay, and we can go from there? That's what the magistrate's asking.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's okay.
$200?
Yeah, I'm not, I'm not going to do
I
that.
make $20 per hour.
I can give you a longer period of time. I think considering that this went on for 322 days, the city's offer to reduce it by 75% is actually a pretty good one, to $8,050, and I can give you an extended amount of time to pay for it, but I can't reduce it to nothing because it's important when people get violations of the code that they bring it into compliance quickly, and in this case, 322 days is not quickly.
But I don't find out, when I found out right away, I came over here for time. That was the first time that I found out, I came right away.
Yeah, but you should find out when you get notice that's sent to the address and the PAPA and the property appraiser's address. So if you're not putting the proper address in there, that's not the city's fault.
I never received nothing under Nancy Esteves' name, so when I was adding my data to the title, that's when I found out that I owe, so I came right away.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll reduce it to 5,000. How much time do you need?
I will pay with my car. I will try.
How much time do you need?
Yeah, 30 days.
I'll give you 60. 5,000, 60 days.
She has an order for you.
Case number 19, CE 230-60286, case address 815 6th Street.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. For agenda item 19, case number CE 230-60286, address of 815 6th Street. This case was originally cited June 21st, 2023. They were cited for overgrowth, trash and debris, fence needing repairs, garbage in the swell, easement needed to be cleaned up, and address characters needed to be posted on the property. This went to a special magistrate hearing August 2nd of 2023. It was ordered for the fine to start as of August 18th, 2023. That ran for 195 days at $250 a day, for a total of $48,750, and was complied February 29th, 2024. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting and regular mail. This was done under the same owner. Roughly 19 cases under their ownership. So the city requests a reduction to 25% of the lien, which would be a total of $12,187.50.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Yeah, Carol Brenner. I'm property manager for Mr. Foston.
So what are you asking me for, and why should I grant it to you?
Well, we're asking for 5% of the amount. Mr. Foston hired me to manage the property. I mean, actually, I told him I would manage the property because I actually own the property 2 horses down, and at the time, and now I don't, but at the time, and he was having financial issues. He was in foreclosure, and he was in the middle of a really adverse eviction that took almost 6 months to comply. Once I got those people out of the property, we started working on the violations, and it took us about 4 months to fix those violations between, October and February. And I worked with Valerie Lester, the code officer, alongside of me as we complied with each violation on the property. Currently, we again have the same problem. We had a Section 8 tenant that lost her Section 8 and then became adverse, did not want to move out of the property, and we are currently, hopefully tomorrow, having the sheriff come out and take those people out. So have probably 4 or 5 months now, again, of financial constraints and on the verge of foreclosure. We put the property for sale. It hasn't sold yet. So we are working on it, but we are stable and we are compliant as of now. So the real issue on why he couldn't comply, I can't speak of any other previous violations, but, probably having to do with the foreclosure and the adverse tenants, but the real issue is that we couldn't go on the property because of the eviction that was happening.
Well, that's a lot of code sections and apparently 19 cases under the owner. That's
Previously, I don't know. I mean, he had problems managing this
That's
property.
not
why-
persuasive to me.
Yeah, well, he had problems managing this property. I tried to give him free advice in the beginning, and now he had to hire me to fix all his issues. So
Honestly, the city's willingness to reduce it from 48,750 to 12,187 seems to be a pretty good offer considering 19 cases and the number of violations that existed on this property.
Well, we're offering 10%, which is 47. I tried to go to 6, which is the best I can afford at this time. I mean, I have 4 months now of zero rent that we have to come out of pocket to keep this place running. And we're
Presumably, it's your owner, not you as the property
well,
manager.
I'm wrapped up with him. He owes me the money, basically. So it's been a pickle, and it's a really hard property to deal with, but we are trugging along and keeping it compliant.
So what's your offer?
It was 10%, which is 4,700. I could go up to 6,000.
What's the city think?
Yeah, in previous discussions, Magistrate, that was offered, and we did deny that offer. And we stated the lowest we would go would be 15%, which would be $7,312.50. And we did state that we would offer up to 5 months to get that paid. But
How much is the 15%?
$7,312.50.
Honestly, that's probably farther than I would have gone.
All right, then we'll just accept that.
How much time do you need?
The 5 months is fine. I mean, I'm actively trying to sell the property, so hopefully I can sell it. If not, I'll have to take a loan on it.
All right, I'll reduce the $48,750 to $7,312.50 payable within 5 months. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Case number 20 has been complied. Case 21, CE 220-90200. This gentleman has 3 other cases, which would be 22, which is case E 221-20197, and case 23, which is CE 221-20195.
Different case numbers, Magistrate, but all the same address. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah, let's hear them all together.
Okay. So starting with agenda item number 21, case number CE 220-90200, case address 1927 Windsor Avenue. This case was originally cited September 20th of 2022. They were cited for trash and debris present on the property, clean and sanitary conditions at the property, paint needed of the structure, junk or abandoned vehicles at the structure, unpaved parking, and work done without permits. This went to a special magistrate hearing November 16th of 2022. It was ordered for the fine to start as of February 15th, 2023. That ran for 621 days at $100 a day for a total of $62,100. And this was complied October 28th, 2024. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting as well as regular mail. City requests a reduction to 25% of that lien, which would be $15,525. For agenda item number 22, case address CE 22120197, same case address 1927 Windsor Avenue. This case was originally cited December 15th of 2022. It was cited for interior renovations done without a permit and inspections. This went to a special magistrate hearing October 18th of 2023. It was ordered for the fine to start as of January 17th, 2024. That ran for 79 days at $50 a day for a total of $3,950. And this was complied April 5th of 2024. Again, service in this case was achieved by way of posting and regular mail. City requests a reduction to 25%, which would be $987.50. For agenda item number 23, case number CE 22120195, case address 1927 Windsor Avenue. This case was cited December 15th of 2022. They were cited for work done without permits and inspections as well. This went to a special magistrate hearing October 18th, 2023. That was ordered for the fine to start as of January 17th, 2024. This also ran for 79 days at $50 a day for a total of $3,950 and was also complied April 5th, 2024. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting and regular mail as well. City requests a reduction to 25% of that lien, which would be $987.50.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Martin Torrisi. I'm representing the owner. The owner is in Chile.
Can you tell me your name one more time, a little slower?
Martin Torrisi, Torrisi.
Martin Torrisi?
Yes.
Okay. And you represent the owner of Casa Noble Properties?
Yes, Daniela Lago Marcino.
All right, so what are you asking me for and why should I grant it to you?
Yes, on the, for the permits, the reduction I hear, I think is fine. But for the garbage, this property was bought on July 2022. I don't know if you're familiar with the area where this house is. It's, well, it's a very bad neighborhood, bombs, you see springs everywhere. I mean, it's very, very bad neighborhood. These people bought the house without knowing the neighborhood. And, well, when they get into the property, they have one tenant, which it was really bad and aggressive. They had to evict the tenant. They take 3 months to eviction him. He was in pain, he was having music, they having a lot of cars. When he left, he's still coming and parking the cars over there, throwing all the garbage. They use the water, the electricity of the house. While we submitting the permits to renew the place, we wanted to enclose. Actually, the police officer, Justin Megatith, he came a couple of times to help us put the trespassing, you know, tell the people they cannot be there. They go to drugs over there, and actually we have a fine because
it sounds
of
like
drugs.
you had a rough go of it, but this went on for 621 days. That's a long time.
That's the thing. The owner is from Chile. She doesn't know. This is on her. She doesn't know. So she thinking that we're doing this and the police officer is involved. He was really helpful. Actually, the city also was helpful with the permits because I run the permits, I do the plans, the inspection. Everybody was so helpful. But where the garbage is out, which is the most money, she was thinking they clean it out. Every time they do, they throw garbage and the police officer coming, she thought that was enough. But she doesn't know that you had to also call the city and tell, I know, I live here, so I know that you had to comply, then pay the fine so they not accumulate the way it was. But
So the city has offered to reduce the fine to, from 62,100 to 15,525, is that right?
yeah, 15 something, yeah.
So what are you asking me for, sir?
If it was really bad, bad business over there. We spend a lot of money, lawyers to get the people out. We leave the house now perfect, beautiful. We put fences. It's clean. It's like it's another house totally. So the neighborhood improved. So we're trying to get as much as we can.
You have to
say.
make me an ask. What are you asking for?
Half of the fine, it would be amazing. Only with the garbage. The other two is okay, 900, I think.
It's half, like 7,700 roughly, I don't know.
7762.50.
What's the city's response to the counteroffer here?
That's less than 15%. Yeah. As a counter offer, magistrate, we counter with 15%, which would be $9,315.
Mr. Torrisi, the
Yes.
city's countering with 9,315.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
How much time do you need, sir?
2 months, it's okay?
60 days.
Awesome.
All right, KCE 220900200, I reduced the fine to $9,315 payable within 60 days. In cases CE 221209197 and CE 221209195, I reduced those to $987.50 each, payable within 60 days.
Awesome. Thank you, appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I think we're on 24, right?
Case number 24, CE 21070-384. Case address 411 Pilgrim Road, and this individual also has another case, which is the last case on the agenda, which is case 25, CE 21070-381, and case address is 410 Puritan Road.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. For agenda item 24, case number CE 21070-384, case address 411 Pilgrim Road. This case was originally cited July 30th, 2021. They were cited for paint needed for the exterior of the premises, repairs needed to be done to the exterior of the premises, the windows boarded, landscape maintenance, inoperative vehicles, clean and sanitary conditions on the property, as well as fence repair needed. This went to a magistrate hearing September 15th, 2021. It was ordered for the fine to start as of November 1st, 2021. This ran for 219 days at $150 a day for a total of $32,850. And this was complied June 8th of 2022. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting and regular mail. Magistrate, we do have an agreement beforehand to reduce this amount to 15% of the lien, which would be $4,927.50, payable within 60 days.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Brittany Morton.
The city tells me that you have an agreement to reduce it to $4,927?
Yeah.
How much time did you want on that?
60 days.
All right, in case CE 21070-384. Excuse me. I reduced it from $32,850 to $4,927, payable 60 days.
For agenda item 25, case number CE 210-70381, case address 410 Puritan Road. This case was originally cited July 29th, 2021. They were cited for outdoor storage, landscape maintenance, grass and sod needed for the yard there, trees needed to be trimmed, exterior paint needed, roof repairs that were needed, board and certificate that was needed, clean and sanitary conditions on the property, unpaved parking, exterior repair needed to be done to the, it says water heater, shed area, roof area of the property. This went to a special magistrate hearing September 1st, 2021. It was ordered for the fine to start as of October 18th, 2021. This ran for 186 days at $100 a day for a total of $18,600 and was complied April 22nd of 2022. A service in this case was achieved by way of posting and regular mail. We do have an agreement, magistrate, beforehand to reduce this amount to 15% as well, which would be $2,790, also payable within 60 days.
Ma'am, the city tells me that you have an agreement to reduce it to 15%, $2,790, payable in 60 days. Is that accurate?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 210-70381, I reduced the amount from $18,600 to $2,790, payable 60 days. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Seeing no further business before us, this meeting is hereby adjourned.